You're born in 1969. Mashhad, Iran. Your father is a cleric. A revolutionary. You have a normal childhood. Normal school. Normal friends. 1989. Your father becomes supreme leader of Iran. You're 20 years old. Suddenly you're the son of absolute power. Your life is never normal again. By 2009, you're giving orders behind the scenes. Green movement protests. Revolutionary Guard attacks. Neda Agha-Soltan shot dead. Your orders. By 2024, you're 55 years old. Everyone knows you're the next supreme leader. 85 million Iranians. Most of them hate you. Want you dead. Your father is 85, dying. You're about to inherit a collapsing empire. Protesters chanting death to the dictator. That dictator is you. You're born September 8, 1969, in Mashhad, Iran's second-largest city. Your name is Mojtaba Khamenei. Your father is Ali Khamenei, a mid-level cleric. He's not famous. He's not powerful. He's just a religious scholar who teaches and preaches. Your mother is Khojost Bagherzada. You're the second of 6 children. This is a normal religious family. Middle class. Educated. Respected but not wealthy. Not powerful. You grow up during the 1970s. The Shah rules Iran. Your father is involved in opposition to the Shah, quietly, carefully, because opposing the Shah means prison or worse. SAVAK, the secret police, arrests dissidents. Tortures them. Your father is arrested briefly in 1975. You're 6 years old. You don't fully understand what's happening. You just know your father is gone for 2 months. When he comes back, he doesn't talk about it. Nobody talks about it. That's how you survive under the Shah. You stay quiet. 1979. The revolution happens. You're 10 years old. The Shah flees. Ayatollah Khamenei returns from exile. Your father becomes involved in the new government. He's appointed to important positions. Friday prayer leader in Tehran. Member of the Assembly of Experts. President of Iran in 1981. Your life is changing, but you're still just a kid. You go to school. You have friends. You're the president's son now, but Iran is still chaotic, still finding itself. You're not royalty yet. You're just a kid whose father happens to be important. You're educated in religious schools. Qom seminary. You study Islamic law like your father did. You're smart. Good student. Serious. You don't have your father's charisma. You don't have his public speaking ability. You're more quiet. More behind the scenes. More comfortable in the background. This is fine. You're not supposed to be the leader. Your father is the leader. You're just his son. June 1989. The transformation June 3, 1989. Ayatollah Khamenei dies. The founder of the Islamic Republic. The supreme leader. The man everyone worships. He's dead at 86. The whole country is in shock. Millions attend his funeral. The grief is genuine. The fear is genuine too. Who leads now? Who has the authority? Who has the power? June 4, 1989. The Assembly of Experts meets. They need to choose a new supreme leader. The obvious choice would be a very senior, very learned cleric. But senior clerics are too independent. Too hard to control. The Revolutionary Guard wants someone they can work with. Someone loyal. Someone political. They choose your father. Ali Khamenei. He's 50 years old. He's been president for 8 years. He's loyal to the revolution. He's acceptable. He becomes supreme leader. You're 19 years old. You're at university, studying Islamic jurisprudence. And suddenly your father is the supreme leader of Iran. Not president anymore. Supreme leader. That's different. The supreme leader is above the president, above parliament, above everyone except God in the constitutional structure. The supreme leader controls the military, controls the courts, controls the media, controls foreign policy. Your father just became the most powerful man in Iran, which means you just became the most powerful man's son. Your life changes immediately. Security details. Bodyguards. You can't go anywhere alone anymore. You can't have normal friends anymore. Anyone who approaches you might be a spy. Might be an assassin. might be trying to use you to get to your father. You're isolated, separated, protected. You're 19 and you've just lost the ability to live a normal life. Forever. Age 20 to 30, 1989 to 1999. The Revolutionary Guard is grooming you. Not officially. Not publicly. But everyone understands what's happening. You're being prepared to inherit power. This isn't a democracy. This isn't even a normal theocracy. This is becoming a dynasty. Your father is supreme leader. You're his son. You're being positioned to be the next supreme leader. This is monarchy disguised as Islamic Republic. You join the Revolutionary Guard Corps. Not as a regular soldier. As an officer. You get special training. Intelligence operations. Security protocols. Military strategy. You're learning how the system actually works. How power actually flows. The Constitution says the supreme leader is chosen by the assembly of experts. But the reality is the Revolutionary Guard chooses. Whoever the Revolutionary Guard supports becomes supreme leader. So you need the Revolutionary Guard support. And they're giving it to you. Training you. Positioning you. You learn how to identify threats. How to eliminate rivals. How to use intelligence services. How to monitor dissidents. How to infiltrate opposition groups. This isn't theoretical education. This is practical training for ruling through force. For maintaining power through fear. For preventing revolution through surveillance and violence. You're learning to be a dictator. Not a spiritual leader. Not a religious guide. A dictator who uses religion as cover. Age 30, 1999. Student protests. University students demanding freedom. Demanding reform. Demanding the right to publish newspapers without censorship. They're not trying to overthrow Islam. They're just students wanting basic freedoms. The Revolutionary Guard and Basij militia attack the student dormitories. They beat students. They throw students from windows. They arrest hundreds. You're involved in this. Not publicly. Not visibly. But you're in the meetings where the decision is made. You're part of the structure that gives the order. This is your first direct involvement in violence against Iranians. Your first taste of blood. It's not the last. Age 40, June 2009. Presidential election. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad versus Mir Hossein Mousavi. The election is rigged. Everyone knows it. The government announces Ahmadinejad won by a landslide. Nobody believes it. 3 million people pour into the streets. Isfahan. Shiraz. Tabriz. Everywhere. The largest protests since 1979. They're calling it the Green Movement. They're chanting, "Where is my vote?" They want their voices counted. They want democracy. Real democracy. Not this fake system. You're in the meetings. The security meetings. Your father's inner circle. Revolutionary Guard commanders. Intelligence chiefs. They're discussing options. How to end the protests. How to restore order. Some suggest negotiation. Your father refuses. He calls the protesters rioters. He says they're being manipulated by foreign enemies. He says this is a threat to the Islamic Republic. The protests need to be crushed. Completely. Whatever it takes. You're part of the decision. You're not just listening. You're participating. You're the supreme leader's son. Your opinion matters. Your position gives you authority. And you agree with the crackdown. These protesters threaten the system. They threaten your father's power. They threaten your inheritance. If they succeed, if they force democratic reform, the whole structure collapses. Your family loses power. So they need to be stopped. Need to be crushed. Need to be taught that challenging the supreme leader has consequences. The Revolutionary Guard and Basij attack. They use batons. They use live ammunition. They beat protesters in the streets. They drag people from their homes at night. They arrest thousands. They torture many of them in Evin prison. Rape. Beatings. Psychological torture. And people are killed. At least 72 confirmed dead. Probably more. One of them is Neda Agha-Soltan. 26 years old. Philosophy student. She's watching the protests from the sidewalk. A Basij militiaman shoots her in the chest. She bleeds to death on camera. The video spreads worldwide. She becomes a symbol, a martyr, the face of the green movement. You watch the video like everyone else. This young woman bleeding to death. Her eyes going empty. And you feel nothing. Not guilt. Not sadness. Not horror. Nothing. Because empathy was trained out of you. Because you've been taught that anyone who opposes the system is an enemy. That Neda wasn't an innocent student. She was a threat. A tool of foreign enemies. A casualty in a necessary war. That's what you tell yourself. That's what you have to tell yourself. Because the alternative is admitting you're responsible for murdering a 26-year-old woman for watching a protest. Age 40 to 50, 2009 to 2019. You control Iran's intelligence operations now. Not officially as a government position. But practically, operationally, you're running internal security. You're identifying threats. Eliminating rivals. Maintaining the system. This is your role. This is your training paying off. You're good at this. You're efficient. You're ruthless when necessary. There have been 3 assassination attempts on you. 3 times someone tried to kill you. Once a car bomb. Once a shooting. Once poisoned food that your food tester caught. You survived all 3. You increased security all 3 times. But you can't increase security enough to feel safe. Because the threat is everywhere. Because half the country hates you. Because everyone knows you're the heir. Everyone knows when your father dies, you become supreme leader. And everyone who opposes the system wants to stop that. Wants you dead. You trust nobody. Not friends because you don't have friends. Not colleagues because they're rivals positioning for power. Not even family completely because power corrupts families. Turns brothers against brothers, sons against fathers. You have a wife. You have children. But even there, you can't fully relax. Can't fully trust. Because anyone can be gotten to. Anyone can be threatened or bribed or turned. The paranoia is permanent. It's not a choice. It's survival. This is the installed software. This is what living as the heir to dictatorship does to your brain. The sanctions age 45 to 50, 2014 to 2019. Iran is collapsing economically. U.S. sanctions are crushing the economy. Oil exports down 80%. Currency collapsed. Inflation 40% annually. People can't afford food. Can't afford medicine. The middle class is being destroyed. The people who supported the revolution in 1979, their children and grandchildren are suffering now. And they blame you. They blame your father. They blame the system. The protests continue. Different cities. Different times. But constant. 2017 to 2018, economic protests. People chanting death to the dictator. That dictator is your father. But also you. Because everyone knows you're running operations. Everyone knows you're the one maintaining control. You're the one giving orders to Revolutionary Guard. You're the heir who will inherit this mess. You have to eliminate rivals. Generals who get too independent. Clerics who criticize too openly. Business people who fund opposition. Intelligence officers who know too much. You can't kill them all, obviously. That would cause chaos. But you can sideline them. Marginalize them. Arrest them on corruption charges. Force them into exile. Make examples. Show everyone what happens when you threaten your position. This is how you consolidate power before the succession. This is how you ensure when your father dies, you're the only option. The only person with enough Revolutionary Guard support to take control. Age 53, September 13, 2022. A 22-year-old Kurdish woman named Mahsa Amini is arrested in Tehran. Her hijab isn't worn properly according to the morality police. Some of her hair is showing. They take her to a detention center for re-education. 3 days later, she's dead. The government says she had a heart attack. Medical evidence suggests she was beaten. Her skull was fractured. She was 22 years old. She was murdered by the Islamic Republic for showing her hair. Iran explodes. Every city. Every province. Millions of people in the streets. But this time is different. 2009 was about election fraud. 2017 was about the economy. This time is about the system itself. The protests aren't asking for reform. They're demanding revolution. They're chanting, woman, life, freedom. They're burning hijabs in the streets. They're cutting their hair. Women are removing hijabs publicly. Defying the law. Defying you. This isn't just political opposition. This is social revolution. This is people rejecting everything the Islamic Republic stands for. The protesters know you. They chant your name. Mojtaba Khamenei. The heir. The son. The next dictator. They burn pictures of you and your father together. They know you're responsible. They know you give the orders. They know you run security operations. When your father dies, you become supreme leader. And they're telling you right now in the streets that they don't accept it. They don't accept you. They want you gone. You order maximum crackdown. Revolutionary Guard. Basic militia. Plainclothes agents. Live ammunition. Mass arrests. Torture. Public executions. You hang protesters from cranes in the streets. Young men. Teenagers. Some as young as 16. You execute them publicly to send a message. This is what happens when you challenge us. At least 500 people are killed in 3 months. Probably more. Thousands arrested. Hundreds tortured. This is your doing. Your orders. Your responsibility. One of the killed is a 16-year-old boy. His crime was attending a protest. They arrested him. They tortured him. They convicted him of Moharaba, waging war against God. They hanged him. He was 16. His mother begged for mercy. Begged for her son's life. You could have granted it. You could have intervened. You didn't. He was hanged. And his mother stood at his grave cursing you. Cursing your father. Cursing the Islamic Republic. The video spread. Millions of Iranians saw it. Millions of Iranians hate you for it. Age 55, 2024. Your father is 85 years old. He's sick. The details are kept secret, but everyone knows. He's dying. Cancer maybe. Organ failure. Whatever it is, he doesn't have long. Months maybe. A year at most. The succession question is urgent. Who becomes the next supreme leader? Officially, the Assembly of Experts chooses. But the Assembly does what the Revolutionary Guard tells them. And the Revolutionary Guard supports you. You're the heir. Everyone knows it. The question is whether you can take power before opposition forces you out. You're in meetings constantly. Revolutionary Guard commanders. Intelligence chiefs. Senior clerics who still support the system. Planning the transition. Planning how to maintain control during succession. How to prevent protests. How to prevent revolution. The strategy is simple. Massive show of force. Arrest before your father even dies. Eliminate potential opposition leaders. Control the media completely. Make the transition look smooth. Make it look inevitable. Make it look like there's no alternative. But you know the truth. You know Iran is on the edge. You know millions of people hate you. You know the economy is collapsing. You know the youth want change. You know the women want freedom. You know the sanctions are crushing the country. You know you're about to inherit a disaster. Your father maintained control for 35 years through fear and violence. But the system is cracking. The next revolution is building. And you're about to be the face of the regime when it happens. You could reform. You could liberalize. You could release political prisoners. End mandatory hijab. Allow freedom of speech. Open up the economy. Make peace with the West. This would save Iran. Would give the country a future. Would prevent revolution. But you can't do it. You can't do it for several reasons, and each reason is a bar in a cage you were born into. Reason 1. The Revolutionary Guard won't allow it. They control too much of the economy. Too much power. They benefit from sanctions because sanctions create black markets they control. They benefit from isolation because isolation makes them necessary. If you liberalize, if you open up Iran, they lose power. And they won't accept that. They'll coup you. They'll replace you. They'll kill you if necessary. You're only supreme leader as long as they support you. Reason 2. The hardline clerics won't allow it. They built their authority on enforcing Islamic law. On mandatory hijab. On morality police. on controlling society. If you end that, you undermine them. And they'll turn the religious establishment against you. They'll declare you illegitimate. They'll support someone else. You need them. You can't rule without them. Reason 3, your own history won't allow it. You've killed too many people. You've ordered too many crackdowns. You've tortured too many dissidents. If Iran ever gets justice, if there's ever accountability, you're going to prison or worse. The families of the killed protesters, they know your name. They know what you did. You can only stay safe by maintaining the system, by keeping power, by preventing the change that would expose you. So you can't reform. You can't change. You can only continue the oppression, only double down, only rule through more fear, only kill more protesters, only arrest more dissidents, only tighten control, until it breaks completely, until the revolution comes, until you end like the Shah. Or like Gaddafi, or like Ceausescu, shot by your own people, killed by the system you inherited and maintained. Your father will die soon. Within the year probably, maybe within months. And you'll become supreme leader. The assembly of experts will vote. They'll choose you, because the Revolutionary Guard tells them to. Because there's no alternative that the security forces will accept. Because the system has engineered this succession for 35 years. You'll be supreme leader. Absolute power over 85 million people, most of whom hate you. You'll rule through fear, through violence, through the Revolutionary Guard and intelligence services. You'll arrest thousands. You'll execute dissidents. You'll ban social media completely. You'll control information totally. You'll try to crush any opposition before it organizes. This is your only strategy. This is all you know how to do. This is what you were trained for. But it won't work. Not forever. Because the math doesn't work. Because 70% of Iran is under 35 years old. Because they've grown up with internet. With knowledge of the outside world. With awareness that other countries have freedom. They don't believe the propaganda anymore. They don't fear the security forces the way their parents did. They're willing to die for change. And there are 50 million of them. You can't arrest 50 million people. You can't kill 50 million people. Eventually, the numbers overwhelm you. The revolution is coming. Maybe in 5 years. Maybe in 10. Maybe sooner. It's inevitable. The Islamic Republic can't survive demographic change. Can't survive economic collapse. Can't survive generational shift. And when it falls, you fall with it. You're not going to exile. Nobody will take you. You're sanctioned. You're wanted. You're responsible for killing 500+ protesters. For torturing thousands. For oppressing 85 million people. When the regime falls, you face justice. Iranian justice. The families of your victims. The mothers of the hanged teenagers. They'll want blood. Your blood. You have children. Sons. One of them is 18 years old now. He's being educated like you were. Religious studies. Revolutionary Guard training. He's being groomed like you were groomed. Being positioned like you were positioned. Because dynasties perpetuate. Because the system needs continuity. Because your son represents the next generation of control. He doesn't understand yet what you've trapped him in. He's 18. He thinks he's special. He thinks he's powerful. He thinks being the supreme leader's grandson is a privilege. He doesn't understand it's a curse. He doesn't understand that half the country wants him dead because of his name. He doesn't understand that he's being prepared to inherit a nightmare. A collapsing economy. A revolutionary population. A system that's dying. And all the blood that comes with it. You could warn him. You could tell him the truth. You could tell him that power without legitimacy is prison. That ruling through fear means living in fear. That inheriting dictatorship means inheriting all the victims' anger. You could tell him to refuse. To leave Iran. To find a normal life somewhere else. To break the cycle. But you won't. You won't because you need him. You need the dynasty to continue. You need the system to survive. You need your power to be inherited because that's what gives your rule legitimacy. If you're just a dictator, you're Gaddafi. If you're a dynasty, you're Saudi Arabia. Permanence requires continuation. So your son will be groomed. Will be trained. will be positioned, will inherit the same trap you inherited, will make the same choice you made, which is no choice at all, will become what you became, will kill who you killed, will oppress who you oppressed. This is the cycle. This is how dictatorships perpetuate, not through forcing evil people to do evil things, through trapping good people in systems where evil is the only option, through isolating them from birth, through training them to see opponents as threats, through giving them power that requires violence to maintain, through making them responsible for crimes that prevent them from ever allowing justice. You were born into this. You didn't choose this. Your father became supreme leader when you were 20. Everything that came after was inevitable. The isolation, the training, the violence, the blood, the green movement, the Mahsa Amini protests, the 500 killed. The system made you this, shaped you, used you, and now you're the system. You're the machine. You're the thing that destroys the next generation the way it destroyed you. And somewhere, a mother is standing at her teenage son's grave. He was hanged for attending a protest. She's cursing your name, cursing your father's name, cursing your son's name. 3 generations of oppressors. 3 generations of victims. 3 generations of the same trap. The same cycle. The same machine. And the machine keeps running.